What did you guys think of this movie anyway?
Sucked.
So
I hated it. Weak. Disqualified.
All right, you're not being cool.
You're not being cool, man.
Just another movie for the blue pill, gynocentric world.
Whoa. Get out of here with that line. What the fuck was that? That like took me right out of the movie.
Just a bunch of beta chumps.
Yeah, it's very one note so much of the time.
God, Jesus Christ. Covered the whole movie.
Okay, we are off and running.
We are moist. I mean,
Moist.
Nice.
I'm taking a bath right now, baby.
Okay. Concrete.
Well, everybody, welcome to Raised by Video. If you haven't listened before, we are 4 out of 5 brothers. In each episode, we discuss a new movie. One of us leading the discussion in our own sick way because people crave leadership, and we're here to give it to them.
Stuart, lead me somewhere.
I'll lead you somewhere, all right?
You got to tell them everything. I play readership.
So as Matt said, I am Stuart. Hopefully I will be competent as your host this time around. I'm joined by my brothers. I'll go from youngest to oldest. Matt, introduce yourself.
I just want to say that there's only one Napoleon, one Washington, and one me.
Whoa.
And my name's Matthew Doggett.
Jeez. Oh,
Pump the brakes
God
there,
damn.
Washington.
it's getting a little
Junior.
He's got designs on here. Daniel, say hello.
Hey, everyone. That's all I got for you.
God damn it. Drew, say hello.
As Stu said, I'm Drew, and we're for a tough guy. Stu does a lot of pansy things, just so you know.
Yeah, like brushing my teeth.
Yeah, wearing
a
a
little
tie and
Like a little punk
combing
ass
your hair
pansy.
and stuff.
Bitch ass motherfucker.
Do it every night.
Brushing
I'll be-
your goddamn teeth.
I'll be gay before too long, I'm
whoa,
sure.
whoa.
Wait, you can't say that anymore?
Pump the brakes.
Not that there's anything
That's-
wrong with that.
It's not
There's
how you
nothing-
become
no.
gay. It's brushing your asshole how you become gay.
Always use a soft bristled brush when brushing your asshole.
4 out of 5 dentists recommend a soft bristle brush when you're shoving it up your butthole.
Yeah, it's really just removing the plaque. You just got to remove the plaque. That's all. It's just no reason for it to be stiff.
Why is there a commemorative wooden thing up your ass, Drew? I don't get it.
A plaque?
Oh, you're talking about, okay, never mind.
The other kind of plaque.
Okay.
Commemorative wooden thing.
So you can know the history of his colon. What important things happened there.
It's a recorder. We sent it out 43 years ago, and it's been probing ever since. The depths. You know, in the anus, nobody can hear you scream.
Good God. That's probably a good moment to mention that the depraved things we say on this show are for entertainment purposes only, aren't meant to defame or harass or terrorize anyone or their buttholes, inside or out of the movie industry. That being said, we've already said horrible things. So if you're related to us or you employ us in any way, you should probably leave right now before it gets worse, and it will probably get worse.
Yeah, and if you stay, I got one thing to say to you. Go suck an egg.
Nice.
That's very rude.
Man, that's over the line.
What a
man.
very rude thing to say.
You took it too far.
I heard it in a movie once. What do you want from me? Now get the fuck out.
That's
So
better.
today,
That's better.
Today we're doing something a little different. We're going to take a trip down memory lane. Usually we discuss kind of a newer film, but today we're doing one we all grew up with. Dick Tracy. This movie stars Warren Beatty, who also directed, as well as just ridiculously stacked cast, including Glenn Headley, Al Pacino, Madonna, Mandy Patinkin, Charlie Corsimo, Dustin Hoffman, Dick Van motherfucking Dyke.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Loved it. I'd forgotten he was in here.
A ton of character actors you've probably seen many times before. So this is a flick we all grew up watching. We'll talk a little bit about that a little more later. How we felt about watching it now as adults or childish adults. As the case may be.
Sean Connery was that you?
Childish adults we are now.
The penis might ya.
Junior.
First, a little spoiler-free synopsis for everybody. So Dick Tracy is a hard-boiled detective and chili lover who goes after gangster Big Boy Caprice, who's just violently seized control of the Club Ritz and has designs to take over the whole city. In the midst of his war on organized crime, Tracy negotiates his relationship with girlfriend Tess Trueheart, the sultry, breathless Mahoney, a singer at the Club Ritz, and a street urchin called the Kid.
Matt's on sound effects tonight.
Hell yeah. Crushing it already. Yeah, and a street urchin called the Kid who witnessed the murder of the Ritz's former owner and is now under Tracy's protection.
Did you just call that poor boy a street urchin?
Yeah, it's like a sea urchin, but on the street. Just like a hideous creature.
I didn't know that they existed,
Yeah.
I guess. And then I saw this kid. I'm like, God damn, that thing is ugly.
Yeah.
Got
You don't want to
spikes
touch
all
it.
over him. God
Can't touch
damn, what the fuck?
Don't eat that sandwich. What are you doing?
So without spoilers, before we dive in, what did everybody think of this movie on this viewing? Starting with Matt.
Oh boy, this was let me just do one of these. No, I'm just kidding. I love this. Honestly, it was so insane that it was just so fun to watch. Like not only the performances of the ridiculously awesome cast, but just the makeup and the old school visual effects. Like, man, I really enjoyed this. This was a great watch.
Awesome. What about you, Dan?
I'm wearing black underwear right now, just so you guys know.
Are you mourning?
So Madonna was in this, and she wore a sheer onesie or something, sheer nightgown at some point.
Yes.
And so that's all I've really been able to think about since I watched this movie. No, this movie was a trip. It's so funny because it's so, it's based on I guess a comic strip, post-war hero, a figure of masculinity. And there's so much for kids in here, but it's also, there's enough going on that I still liked it as an adult. And it was just a fascinating film. Nothing like it as far as I know before or after. Pretty cool.
Totally. Excellent. What about you, Drew?
Yeah, kind of echoing what these guys said. It's like it's an adult for movie. It's like Warren Beatty's this grown-up giddy little kid who's really good at putting a good movie together. It's fast-paced, funny, fun, well-written, engaging. It has twists. It's not your typical bad guy versus good guy story that you see, like all the time nowadays. It takes you by surprise, and there are definitely, I love this as a kid. That's so freaking colorful, and the characters are insane. Just the faces, like what world is this that these people live in? But all the bad guys are sort of deformed somehow, and just despite all of this color and this fun, it was, as I said, it was really well written, and there's a lot of grown up stuff. Like the bad guys always misquoting dead presidents, dead philosophers, and every other word out of Madonna's mouth is a very grown-up thing to say. So
I know.
I
Get
just
into that.
Yeah.
I
A lot of
loved
stuff
it.
I didn't pick up on as a kid.
I didn't know what any
No.
of it meant when I was a kid.
yeah.
Except
No,
maybe,
no
are you
way.
going to frisk me? That one was the most obvious. But
Oh, I thought you said, "Are you gonna fist me, man?" I was like, "Do it, Tracy, do it." Man.
aren't you going to fist me?
Definitely did not pick up on that as a kid.
Like,
Yeah.
punch her?
I love
Yeah, when I
this
was a
one.
kid, that's what I thought. I thought he was gonna punch her, but now I'm like,
Now I know.
Punch
does it
her on the
mean now?
inside.
Take the plaque out of Drew's butt and put it somewhere in her vicinity.
In her vicinity.
In her situation.
Very, very polite way to say that.
I want to say, like, I'm trying. I'm really trying here not to make this whole show about the dame, the hottest. It's just like, okay, my review of Dick Tracy. I had a boner the whole time. My happy boy was stretched. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, Warren Beatty is a handsome man.
Yeah.
Oh, you
He's,
guys.
he's notorious for getting around.
He's a coxman.
He's a infamous coxman.
For a tough guy, he does a lot of pansy things, though. You know,
Yeah.
like brush his teeth,
Like bang chicks.
bang chicks, and fall in love with
nothing-
Tess.
Nothing more pansy than having sex with a vagina.
Oh yeah, that's not pretty pansy. Oof.
Yeah, I think you guys said it all very well. I pretty much had the same experience. I didn't remember it very much as a kid. I loved it as a kid, but I didn't. I was surprised by how much I did not remember as an adult. I probably haven't seen it since I was like a prepubescent boy.
So a couple of years ago.
Oh, zing!
Zing, zang, zoom.
Don't tell them about my pubes.
Yeah, it was crazy. The memories that were flooding back. Garth got his pubes. You didn't tell him about my pubes, did you?
Yeah, I guess so. At this point, I guess we can just dive in. So at this point, if you haven't seen the movie, prepare for spoilers.
You've had
get the fuck out of
30
here.
something years to see the movie. What are you doing? Come
Yeah,
on.
what are you doing? Come on.
Get the fuck out of here.
A lot of people might not even know it existed. Who knows?
Yeah, true.
If you're that young, what the hell are you doing listening to this podcast? Seriously. We're gonna make all the references that you don't understand.
And if you want to understand them, just come on over to our Patreon and we'll explain everything to you there
We'll explain it all.
behind
Yeah.
the paywall.
Just listen ironically and give us all your money. Unironically.
That's right. That's right.
We will bestow enlightenment upon you. Don't worry.
Yeah. No, those guys are problematic. I just listen for the irony of it, just because they're so sick and depraved. I am curious what a younger person would think of this movie. Like
I
someone
know.
who grew up on Marvel movies,
Yeah.
just like inundated with comic book adaptations, superhero movies. What would they think of this? Because this is so outlandish. I think let's say it's ahead of its time.
I agree.
Batman came out the previous year, 1989, but it's a little bit darker than this. Not quite as zany, a little grittier. Although this does have some grit. There's a lot of people getting blasted by Tommy guns.
With real squibs.
Yeah,
Thank God.
I didn't realize. I didn't remember how violent it was. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus, they're really fucking
Mowing them down.
pulling a Bonnie and Clyde on
Yeah.
every gangster that drives out of the
Yeah.
out of the club at the end. It's like,
I mean, the
Jesus.
movie pretty much starts with like a gangland hit. You know, it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
shooting words in the freaking wall.
Yeah, totally. The one gangster, the cat comes out and he's like, "Hey, kitty," and then just chucks it. I was
I
it's
know,
like, Jesus
yes.
Christ!
Like,
Dude, they just killed that cat. Oh my gosh.
Jesus. Was that Jenny's cat?
yeah, I'm
are you
holding it
doing to that
here
poor
in
cat?
my lap and strangling it so I can get the sound bite.
Nothing's better than the real thing.
But there's like that's how you know there's this whole I guess school of thought in writing stories. It's like have your main character save the cat. Well, the opposite is also true. If you want to know who the bad guys are, just have him hurt a cat. Have him
Nice.
toss a cat. You're like, oh, fuck this guy. I like cats. He doesn't deserve that.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
good point.
Interesting.
Good point.
I like that. It certainly does it in the very first scene that we see them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's such a great introduction too, because it shows all the weird makeup effects. They're sort of comic book caricatures. It's like, hey, little face, why don't you throw in the ante?
Nightmare.
You look at the guy as it's a little face and a giant head.
Giant freaking head. And a little face. Literally a little face. The makeup is so freaking good.
Charlie Kirk.
It's a Charlie Kirk. The makeup is amazing. It's so great.
Yeah, it's nuts.
There's only one that was, I think, like lips or whatever that his lips weren't actually moving because they're giant. But
Paul Sorvino.
That's crazy as Paul.
that was Paul
disgusting.
Sorvino.
Yeah.
It's just slurping down oysters.
Oh yeah,
I do remember that. That's a scene that sticks with me.
it's like from as a scene from The Substance.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
yeah, the
right.
prawn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love that intro too because you just see him doing that for like a minute straight, and he's got these weird lips. Oh man, look at those lips. And then someone comes up to him and he's like, "Hey, lips."
Yeah.
Something's going down. Of course his name is Lips.
What is it, micro penis? Who is it? Oh, someone got little face and big balls over here. Come on, we need your help.
Warren Beatty had a rated R director's cut. He's much more graphic.
Some of these guys look horrible. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, geez.
Yeah.
One dude looks like a legit winter cold scrotum.
Yeah.
He has a lot of lines too. I forgot who that actor was.
What was his name too? It was Wrinkle Face or
You're right.
Scrotum face?
Scrotum Face?
Scrotum Joe.
Scrotum my goats.
Hey, Scroats, my goats, get over here. We got an issue.
So yeah, what younger people would think about this movie in the world of Marvel movies and DC movies and stuff is I hope they would like it because the story is really good. I was like, this is so fast paced. What is okay? They're wasting no time. It's very efficient storytelling, real quick.
It is really fast paced. I wanted to say something about that, but go ahead.
I mean, that's pretty much what I was saying. Just it's a fast-paced movie with a good story. It's not this predictable story. Like you get halfway through the film and you're like, by the way, that was intentional. I intentionally choke on my L's, okay? When I say film.
Film.
In case you don't know. Yeah, so halfway through the movie, all of a sudden...
Yeah, Drew's weird. Talks weird.
Alum Pacino was in this movie.
He was the star of the movie.
This is so awkward.
Yeah, so halfway through the movie, it takes a twist. All of a sudden, there's a new bad guy, like this no-face bad guy, and then Dick Tracy's getting sabotaged from or sabotaged for the first time because first Big Boy figures out that he's being bugged, and so he sets Tracy up to try and kill Tracy for like the second or third time, and that was kind of a weird. There are very few things wrong with this movie, in my opinion, and most of them come towards the end of the movie. And they're really little. It's very nitpicky to pick about what's actually wrong. But yeah, then so once that killing fails, then we have this no face come in and start messing with Dick Tracy's life all over again. And suddenly Big Boy comes back into power. It's just such a cool story. It's like, it's taking you for a ride and it's not really predictable. So fun, fast paced, doesn't slow down.
Yeah. So that was one thing I noticed that it really gets into the action. But I wanted to ask Daniel and Stu if they had any opinions on that, or like why does it seem so much faster compared to other like modern movies? Was it an editing thing, or was it just like the way that it was set up? They'd like introduce you to everybody real quick and then just get into the action. What did you guys think?
Stuart, thoughts?
Yeah, a lot of it is the editing, I think. They use montages to really blast through a lot of stuff quite effectively. And they're very fast montages, but there's a lot going on in them.
Yeah, there's a lot of montages in this.
There's like two main ones in particular. It seems like there's a lot, but the two main ones basically were, one is after Tracy and his men bug the club, it shows their progress and their success busting Big Boy's men.
Tracy fights the mob.
Yeah.
Busting makes me feel good. Oh, sorry.
And it's like the newspaper clippings and the radio announcements and all this stuff. And then the next one later kind of mirrors that. It's after Tracy is framed. Then it's Big Boy's progress. Big Boy's success is...
Dick is dirty. We got a dirty dick here.
The dirty dick montage.
That's what the newspaper said. It wasn't me. Dick is dirty. That's that. What do you guys get your minds out of the gutter?
Oh man, the dick jokes in this movie. 30 seconds, no more dick. 30 seconds, no more dick.
I was laughing so hard. That's what I tell myself whenever I have a craving.
But yeah, I think it's partly the writing. Yeah, it's just they don't waste much time at all. Very, very efficiently written.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, they despite the huge amount of characters, they really stay with the ones that we most care about in terms of like the emotional arc of Dick Tracy. And some of that is, and we can talk about this more, but the film is calibrating his masculinity between these two female characters. And so that his relationship with both of them is important, and we stick with that really well. And then the growth and ebb and flow of the mob is the other one with a kid in there as well. And it doesn't veer off like a lot of films do with explaining, a lot of explaining. They kind of just jump you into this movie, and you get to you figure it out as you go. It's not a lot of hand holding, and that's nice. And I think movies were just written better back. That's a generalization. This movie is written better than 95% of movies out there today.
Yeah, totally.
Because it's just, there's so many characters. It almost, necessity is the mother of invention. You gotta write this thing clean and clear and fast, precisely because there are so many characters in it. It's kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters.
Yeah, I loved the non-hand holding and how there were certain looks that they gave or shots that they gave, and you just know what's going on. Mm-hmm. Warren Beatty did a really good job directing, I thought, in this.
Yeah.
Lots communicated just on the screen. Those montages, obviously the device of using the newspaper headlines is now kind of silly. Even then, they're kind of parodying it in this movie, but it's pretty effective at telling you exactly the beats that happen to get us from one point to another.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was newspapers and radio they had.
And radio, yeah. Mm-hmm. And there's it never really lets up. Tracy makes progress, and then it's immediately kind of undermined by this or that. He makes progress in his crime fighting, but then he falls back in his relationship with Tess, or vice versa. So he's always kept on his toes. Mm-hmm. And so are you as the audience, which it's great. Never stops.
Yeah. I just wanted to say before we get off the subject of the montages, a couple of things that I really liked in this that just add to the personality of this movie. But when Tracy is arresting a whole bunch of people, like he's on his upswing, there's one time where he like punches a guy into a backflip. Did you guys notice that?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I did.
Yeah. There were a lot like that. Like he was holding one guy up with one hand, and then he like in the air, then he punches him with the other hand. Mm-hmm. And then the one where you were probably about to mention this, but the one where he punches like 5 at once, they fall down like bowling pins.
Yeah. I wasn't going to mention that one either specifically, but yeah. There's one where he just like pops up like from behind a counter and points again, like
yes,
like he was just crawling down there. What is he doing?
Yeah, it's just surprising people. Like jumps out of a box, right? A tiny box in the middle of the table. Right, he's like, hey, let's take a bite with a Tommy gun. Yeah, got you. See,
I'm here. I'm everywhere. You can't escape me.
That didn't happen.
But it was making.
It is cool.
It was making fun of
fun.
itself. Yeah, it was super fun. It was funny.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
The movie has so much humor in it. It does not take itself seriously.
And very, very inspired by the comics, clearly, just the imagery of it. I remember when he leaves, I don't know how much we're going to get into the story. I love the amazing cityscapes and how quickly that tells the story.
So cool.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Even the very first shot is so impressive. He gets ready in his apartment, and then you zoom out, and it's a matte painting, and he's like, "Oh, holy shit, that's a flex right there."
And then doesn't it zoom into another part of the matte painting for a live action shot? It's like,
the collaborates.
Was that like a forced perspective shot where they had like a giant painting or something? How the hell did they do that?
They usually, they comped the film of the second one, at least I think, onto it. But yeah, it's typically they're painting glass. It'd be interesting to know how they do it on this one, but they often shoot through glass and do it that way.
Yeah,
I don't know how they would have done both of those forced perspective in the same shot, but I'd love to look at it again.
Yeah, there were a ton. I can't remember the exact number, but it was something like 50 or 60 matte paintings done for this movie. Wow. This is one of the few. I think it's one of the last. What did I read? One of the last American blockbusters that did not use CGI, no computer generated images.
Wow.
Nice.
It was
You can
all
tell
done with
the-
models and matte paintings, and it looks great. I
It
mean,
does look
It
great.
looks wonderful.
like obviously it's dated because that's just the way things work. But like you can tell that it was made in a certain era, but it still looks fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a comic book.
Yeah.
Mhm.
A lot of that is I'm gonna fuck up his name, but Vittorio Storaro, who's the cinematographer of this, he's a legendary. His style in the conformist influence so like every modern movie you see today. He ended up filming Apocalypse Now, The Last Emperor, Reds with Warren Beatty. He's done quite a few things that we've all seen and heard of, and he loves color. So this was probably like a huge labor of love for him. And he's worked with Warren Beatty quite a few times. So
Yeah.
I just thought like, okay, this is this guy knows how to tell a story with the shots, the angles, and I like that. Just bringing it back. If he had anything to do with no love for CG, I would not be surprised.
Yeah. Apparently they tried to not move the camera much at all. Just really keep it true to like
Nice.
a comic book page.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Which I read that after the fact, and I was trying to look back. It's like it seemed like there's a lot of motion.
Seemed very kinetic.
Yeah. So I might have to watch it again just to look at the camera work. But
Yeah.
and they used the color palette they used. I think this was on Beatty's insistence. He wanted only, I think, 7 colors, only primary colors, no shades.
No pastels.
Yeah, just keep it super simple to keep it like the comic book. So everything's just this very comic booky yellow, green,
Yeah.
blue, red,
Man,
and then obviously the black and white aspects of it too, the shadows and
I
everything.
wish the real world were this colorful.
I know.
Like all our buildings and our suits, everybody wears different colored suits all the time. Oh God,
Yeah, it
beautiful.
looks so cool.
Yeah.
There's one shot that stood out to me as like one of the most beautiful shots I have ever seen. And it was of Tess at a table as her mom talks. And she was just kind of like had her chin on her fist as she came to the realization when her mom said something like, "It takes a lot of understanding to love a man like that." It was like a Caravaggio painting, or it was like a Rembrandt or something. I was like, I tried to take a screenshot of it, but my digital rights management software in cahoots with Amazon Prime, God, wouldn't let me. But I'll get it. I'll get it. God damn it, one day. It sucked, but that was amazing. I just loved that shot. I was like, holy shit, I've never seen anything like that before.
Oh,
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's a good. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that, but yeah, if you look at it like a painting, totally, totally.
Just so soft light, beautiful woman.
I was just
it
so
was
bored
awesome.
at that point because I was like, when's he gonna bone Madonna? You know? I was like, her nipples are looking good through that see-through nightgown. I've never.
When she came, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say when she came to his apartment and she knocks and he answers. He's like, "Who is it? Did you bring ice cream? What kind is it?" She's like, "Fresh peach. Better eat it right away. It's starting to run a little."
Oh my God.
I was the horniest man in Texas. I was like, "Oh, geez. Oh, man. Let's rewind that. I need to hear that again." Did she just say that?
What?
Did she say? Could you say that?
I watched this as a 8-year-old boy.
I know. It's so funny.
The ice cream's melting. You better eat it.
Yeah, you better
Better
eat
lick
this
it up.
melting peach.
Jesus Christ.
When she
Fresh peach.
he goes into the
Better eat it right away. Oh my God. It's starting to run a little.
so Warren Beatty.
Get your ass in here, Madonna. Right.
Yeah, apparently they dated, right? Is that
Amazing. Love that.
How could
line.
they
God.
not?
Good call.
Oh
Yeah.
my God! When she pops out, when he goes back
Pops
into
out?
the club,
She pops out?
she's wearing that.
Where does she pop out?
That slip or the
Yeah.
Slip.
As soon as she
Slip
walks
in?
into frame, I
know.
I just went,
I know.
"Bah!"
I know. I'm like, oh,
It was just a reflex.
What do I see?
Like, oh my God.
oh, geez. I'm feeling like the way we used to climb the ropes in gym class.
It's like, wait, I could see her nipples.
Yes.
How did
She's got great tits.
How is
this possible?
this was in a movie that I watched as a kid?
Right.
This is
I know. I did not
Is
even
this
notice that
PG-13?
as a kid. That is so funny.
What is this?
Absolutely wild.
There's so many things that mom and dad probably saw in this film that just never spoke a word about it because we obviously did not get it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We
We
just
didn't
glazed
care.
right over it.
We were just like,
No,
it's a
it was
Tommy
so
gun.
cool. I wanted a Tommy gun after I saw this last night. I'm like, that thing goes forever. Jesus Christ.
I wanted a girl on all fours with her butt in the air on my working desk.
On my
after I saw
desk.
this.
That was so funny.
Sipping champagne.
That's another point where I was like, this, I could see this in a comic book somewhere.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I love Dick Tracy's stoicism. I mean, she's testing him
Yes.
as hard as she can. And,
Oh,
She's
yeah.
testing the dick.
she moves in for the kiss and he doesn't budge. And
He's a rock. He's an oak.
he is, yeah.
He loves Tess. He's in love with Tess.
yeah.
You know?
He does love Tess.
Exactly. He's got those values. Obviously, it would be very easy for him to be inside of Breathless.
This is a creepy way to put it.
In cahoots, I meant. In
Wearing her skin, laughing in front of a mirror.
But it's
I got you.
yeah. But I love Breathless's character. She is
Yeah.
the meant to be the hottest woman in town, the dame, as the kid calls her, and
The kid who doesn't even like dames.
right, that is a dame, yeah. And yeah, just this ultimate temptress. Everybody wants her, and yet the one person that she wants doesn't want her back. It's poetic.
Tragic.
And then
Also, she wants him in her trap so she could own the city.
that's the thing. If he goes with her, that even if he puts a little pinky into her, area,
Even if he just takes a few little licks of that peach ice cream.
Even if it's just the tip.
even if he's just cleaning up the dripping peach ice cream a little bit, just so it doesn't
With his tongue,
drip on
just
the
so it doesn't drip on the floor.
Right. Yeah.
You got to slurp it up, man.
He's in. Like, she's gonna suck him all the way in. And so, yeah, that's a real man. He is an oak.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot to be said about how a strong villain makes the movie, and you don't necessarily know that that's what you're seeing
Right.
here. Certainly Big Boy is a strong villain, but Madonna / Breathless /
Faceless.
No Face
Yeah.
is one of the most memorable villains I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In both formations too, in both manifestations.
Mhm. Memorable.
That's a perfect.
Ooh-wee.
Let's talk about Madonna a little bit. What did you
Okay,
guys think
let's do
about her acting chops?
Not bad.
Spot on.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought she was pretty
Scott.
good.
yeah, I agree. A lot of the reviews that I read, the negative ones, most of them just talk shit about Madonna, and I'll
That's interesting.
get into that a little bit later. But I thought she was solid. I mean, like really steady eyes, a lot of control in her
Yeah.
face.
Mhm.
I mean, I was impressed. I was like, damn,
I think that
she can act her face off.
She played kind of the tortured woman, and also Matt. Go ahead. I'll finish my thought in a minute. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that that maybe she's not a great actress in like a super serious drama role or something. I don't know. I've never seen her in anything like that. But
Right.
for this one, what she did was really good. It, like, really lent itself to the comic book aspect of it, and like the over the top kind of drama aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean, even great actors give bad performances sometimes. So it's, trying to totalize an actor is like kind of pointless. But I think she did a fantastic job in this movie. I don't know if I've ever seen her in anything else, but I was pretty blown away by, as you said, Stuart, her control and just what she was doing. You don't get a lot of the tics that a lot of new actors have with her performance. And it was hard to see through her performance. She was so like heavily sultry, and it was hard to see through whether she was a character or being manipulative. And in those sort of more tender or vulnerable moments, I still believed her in those moments too. So it's like, hey, good job. Good on you.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, there were some pieces of the film that were written kind of to give an homage, it seems, to older films. Like there were some parts where she's talking with Tracy on the dock, basically giving him the ultimatum, like, I'll testify if you tell me you want me the same way I want you. And, you got to tell me now. I'm not going to wait, a week or whatever. And in that moment, I was sort of reminded of old films. And one of them that comes to mind was An Affair to Remember, when the love interest is looking up at Cary Grant.
I forgot that one. Yeah.
You guys don't remember An Affair to Remember?
Is this a real movie? What are you talking about?
But
Is this an affair that you had?
it's just, her face was glowing. The lighting was good. It was just, she was meant to be the love interest, the damsel. And she played it well. And I don't know, the directing, the cinematography was also worked for her. But yeah, her acting as well was solid on all fronts, as the villain, as the abused. She was definitely abused by all the men she was with. You could tell, used and abused.
Yeah. Al Pacino like smacking her on the ass and then
Oh my God.
slapping her in the belly.
And then pulling her onto his lap and slapping both sides of her face. And
Yeah.
I couldn't stop laughing at when he's doing that. He's like dancing around with them. Oh my God. His performance was so freaking hilarious. Like,
It's so good.
such a good bad guy. And like
Yeah,
through the whole
Wanna-
thing, Al
wanna
Pacino
touch
was just
it.
like,
I want to squeeze it.
I remember my two favorite parts of Pacino were when he finds the bug. It's a bug. We're being bugged. We're being bugged. We're being bugged. He's looking
Yes,
at-
I know. He starts freaking out and like whispering.
He's on the table. His weird hunch.
Right.
Hang on a second. It was hilarious.
But it was so beautiful. Yeah.
I'm having a thought. There's a thought coming. I'm gonna have a thought. It's gone.
let's go.
It's gone.
No, it's wrong. It's off. It doesn't work.
Yes.
He's so
He's so
nuts.
good, over the top.
He has a reputation for being like way over the top, but he does it with a purpose. I mean, Heat is the most famous example, but that's a character choice. He's like trying to put the people that he's interrogating on edge, throw them off their game a little bit, scare the shit out of them. And in this, it's he's a fucking cartoon villain. He's he's being a cartoon villain perfectly.
Yes.
Yeah. Love that.
So good.
Okay. The other babe.
What?
The other babe besides
The
Al
kid.
Pacino.
I mean,
The kid. No.
Kid did a great job, but that's not a babe. Matt.
Also from the Hook. The Hook.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, the kid was good.
Yeah.
Man, that kid was crushing it in the 90s.
He really was.
Just in so many things. Hook especially is what I remember him from.
Yeah, what else
Yeah.
was he in? I was thinking of it, and I just lost it.
Terminator 2. I'm just kidding.
No.
No fate. No fate, but what we make for ourselves.
Where did I had a list of him pulled up? Let me
I just got one question about him. When do we eat?
when do we eat?
Yeah.
When do we eat?
I do like his sequences. I remember those from, childhood. It's so funny. When do we eat? When do we eat? When do we eat?
Mhm.
Pretty funny.
Yeah.
Eating all this great stuff.
Mhm.
And then later, he's in prison or Tracy's in jail.
Love this scene.
He's like, how's the food? That's good. How's the food in the orphanage? It's good. Just like both lying to each other.
Yeah. And the kid's, he's taking a liking to Tracy and he's kind of mimicking. He's like, oh, he doesn't complain about the food.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
I won't complain about the food either.
Very
Right,
touching.
yeah.
Very well done. See, and you don't have to hold your hand. You don't have to hold the audience's hand. It's just, so good.
Yeah, their relationship through the movie is really great, I think.
Mhm.
When they almost get blown up. First of all, that was a intense sequence. I mean, like they did a great job getting you ratcheted up. Like, get the fuck out of here! This thing is about to blow.
I remember thinking
But then
exactly that. Yes.
Yes, oh my God, how are they doing this? And then they land.
Mhm.
They land in the rubble, And the kid's like, geez, Tracy, that's a lot of dough. And he's like, you're all right, kid. Those are the only and first two things they say to each other. It's so funny.
I can't believe you turned out that money.
Yes.
You just saved my ass.
I know. Like, of all the
So
things that you
good.
could be thinking about right now, it's just the money you missed. You almost died.
The kid saves his ass like multiple times and
Right.
like 4
Yes,
times
yes.
or something.
Yeah, he's the one who warns them when there's a drive-by.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. By
Hey,
the way,
Tracy,
how the hell
look
did he
out.
know that they were gonna fire him? He just like saw a car coming down the road and he's like, "Hey, look out, man!"
He knows.
He's a
man.
street kid.
He's got
seen that
good
kind of shit
instincts.
before. Yeah. You know.
He witnessed a murder in the first scene. He knows how it goes.
Yeah, he's always
Exactly.
He saw that cat get thrown. And he's like, "Oh man,
Oh, that's true. Yeah, there you go.
yeah."
Saw the cat get
Pretty
thrown,
rough.
then saw all the guys get blasted away, then got fired at himself, then got beat by his dad or whatever that was.
By looking, the fuck is his name from Sin City?
I know.
By Marv looking motherfucker.
There were a few
right.
characters that looked exactly like Marv from Sin City.
He did. Yes.
By the way, I think maybe Rodriguez took some inspiration from this movie. I don't know that for sure, but
Oh, he must have.
very, very similar feels.
Yes. Very true.
Well, they are both comic book
Yeah.
movies.
Both based in comics.
And Dick Tracy is legendary.
But
Yeah.
like very few movies go all in on that aesthetic. You
It's
know?
true. Yeah, I do think Dick Tracy did. I don't know what, it's so funny to pull yourself out of the historical context. What did people think back then? How was it received back then? I have no bearing on that. So it would be interesting to do a little dive on how it was received.
Apparently, it wasn't. It got mid to favorable reviews.
Okay.
Nobody was super jazzed about it. It seemed, which
Mm-hmm.
is crazy to me. I guess it was ahead of its time because it's kind of mind blowing. I mean, the art department stuff. I think it may have at least gotten nominated.
It won three Oscars actually.
Okay,
Yeah,
Okay.
best art direction, best makeup, and best original song.
there you go.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Danny Elfman. Or
No, somebody
the original
else.
song.
Original song,
That's
yeah.
Madonna, probably.
Stephen
No.
Sondheim.
Yeah, Sondheim.
Oh,
He
okay.
did like 2 or
Way to
3
go,
songs
Daniel.
for it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Stevenson. Yeah. Shut up, Daniel.
Danny Elfman. Madonna. Oh, Stephen Sondheim. Cool. Yeah, that guy.
Warren Beatty.
It's not an auction, right?
Thank you, David Spade.
All those things are great. The visuals of this movie are so cool.
Oh, yeah.
And perhaps they've grown in their charm. I just need to see what other movies were released in 1990. Like, how far ahead of its time was it? Or was it doing things that were considered charming even for then, like 1990, like all these big matte paintings and super, super colorful, highly stylized. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, I think like the intentional campiness, the comedy, people didn't quite understand it maybe at the time. So like a lot of the film critics were like, yeah, it looks great, but the story's shit, basically.
It's not serious enough.
Yeah, like really?
Well-
it's pretty solid.
It's a comic book.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a comic book story. They do the job.
What are you doing? Right.
Maybe there probably weren't too many. Maybe that's it. Is that the comic book movies were not really much of a thing
Right.
back then.
That's true. Yeah.
So they weren't taken very seriously.
And now they're taken way too seriously.
Way too seriously. Yeah.
Speaking of like comic books and just there are so many examples of not taking itself seriously, punching a bunch of guys and they fall down like billiards, popping out from behind a counter, all this kind of stuff. But also the cops can't do anything without Tracy. Like when Tracy's in jail,
Yeah.
Big Boy just runs everything, and all the police, the chief of police, all the other police officers, they have nothing to do. Like they don't do it. Tracy's the only lawman who is worth a damn in the city.
Yeah.
That's true. He even has the one guy jump down to catapult him out
Yes.
of the room.
Great
through the
scene.
skylight.
Like nobody's gonna miss
then-
you while you're down here.
Yeah, exactly. And Tracy immediately takes off running. It's like, I know exactly what to do. You can hang out down here.
Right.
Yes, right.
With that Danny Elfman score, that whole scene was like,
That
oh
was
man,
good.
this is Batman.
Yeah, I thought
Nice.
so too.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
it was like an Indiana Jones meets Batman sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I
Right.
thought it was cool.
Nice.
And I know he didn't do Indiana Jones, but it had that sort of lighthearted adventurousness about it with the darkness of Batman, the thematic Batman stuff. So I think
that Beatty actually hired Danny Elfman because of Batman. He loved the score.
Nice.
I got to get this guy.
Nice.
Hell yeah, that score is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, I was watching this and I'm just so proud of Warren Beatty. I just kept admiring the guy. Like he definitely had a vision for this film. He wanted to make a Dick Tracy movie and he made it really well.
Yeah. He was a fan of the comics and he was going after the rights to this, to a movie, a Dick Tracy movie, since I think the 70s.
Wow.
Or maybe the 80s, maybe the 80s.
Nice.
It changed hands so many times. Things fell through, but he was always interested in it. And he was like a big voice for keeping it true to the comics because he was such a big fan of them. So yeah, definitely a passion project for him. And he worked, a long time on it.
I remember hearing something about that. Yeah.
I love his expressions. Like his acting in this. He says so much with his face when certain things happen. But especially, for example, that really tense scene where he's tied up in the chair and the steam machine is about to blow up and the kid saves him.
It's called a boiler, Drew.
Right.
Steam machine.
Well,
I don't know what's going on, Mrs. Henderson. My steam machine's broken.
The steam machine's broke. I was just making hot corn salad and my steam machine started acting up. And,
it's steaming too much. That's the problem. It's going to explode.
I know it's here to make steam for us, but it's making too much right now. It's going to blow.
Your steam machine, finna explode.
Finna explode. Finna explode.
Nice.
But so I love his Dick Tracy's expression. He's always got this amused expression when any bad guy shows up around him. He's always just amused, like, I'm better than you. Always. When the guys are saying, we're from child services, we need to take the kid. And then he opens the door and it's two thugs, Flat Top and the other guy. He just suddenly has this amused expression on his face. And then he's tied up in the chair and Big Boy's offered him $15,000. He just looks amused. It's priceless. It's so good. I'm like,
his performance is interesting in this. Yeah, I do like it. I liked it a lot.
Dick Tracy can't speak. There's so many moments where he can't spit words out,
especially with a woman. Yeah.
Yeah. Particularly when it's like something in his personal life.
Yeah.
When it comes to the crime fighting, he has no problem saying what he needs to be said. But as soon as he's has to say something important to, the love of his life or the kid, he's just,
he's out of his element.
It's like stuttering. He can't, and he barely says anything. He says maybe one word.
Right.
I love it. It just says so much with his face.
Man of action.
It wouldn't work unless he actually said something, unless he was such a good actor that he could communicate with his face so well.
He really does communicate well.
His performance when Breathless was around was always interesting too. And he was just still.
Yep.
I know that if when a woman comes on to me as hard as Madonna comes on to Dick Tracy in this movie, I also just freeze up and hope she'll go away.
Like she's a T-Rex. If you don't move, she wants to get
Yeah, that's how Lauren and I met. She came on to me and I froze and she carried me like a wood plank into the bedroom. It's been true love ever since.
And it was
very romantic.
I was like, he's just not moving. It's like, he's a T-Rex is in the room. It's so funny. It's great. Totally worked though. She was fucking furious.
By the way, there's
Breathless
one
or
scene,
Lauren?
I think,
Breathless.
I think there's one scene where it's like, I think it's when they're on the dock and Breathless and Dick are talking and it's like a fuzzy screen. You know what I mean? When there's a beautiful woman on and there's they blur the screen out. Did anybody else notice that?
Yeah, the old school movie types and Star Trek.
Diffusion.
Yeah.
Why
they do that
do
with
that?
women.
To make her glow.
It softens the woman's skin.
Yeah.
It gives a little bit of glow. Yep. It's an old the filters you got me kind of do that, but it's 1/8 power. It's very, very low. But they'll do that. They'll even put nylon stockings behind the lens sometimes to really diffuse the image. to make it very, very soft for our lead ladies. And they don't do that anymore unless they're filming like maybe a dream sequence or something that's supposed to be super saccharine. But I think like when they were doing that in this movie, it was because that's what older films used to do a lot.
Yeah.
Anytime it cut to a close up.
That's what I was saying about the homage to older films.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they used to do it, I'm a huge fan of the Star Trek original series. They did it every time romantic interest came in to Star Trek. Yeah.
That's what I remember seeing
It's
it.
sort of dreamy and
Right.
But they didn't do it with like every scene, at least not that I noticed with her in it. It was just like the one.
I think it would have been overkill every scene because, like I said, I think it was just an homage, not a like we're doing it this style.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
right.
Yeah.
And plus, she's a dark, sultry character as well. She doesn't deserve to be glowing all the time.
Yeah, and that is kind of a pivotal moment.
Just in that one scene where she's looking up at him, confessing her love, the way dames do in films of old.
Yeah, she's laying all her chips out on the table.
Yeah, really vulnerable.
Yeah,
glowing. Yeah.
Chips out, tits out.
I wish. Am I right, guys? Fellas?
Those bobies, you know what I mean?
Dick, why you got a trench coat and a hat on you, Dick? He's already exposed, is what I'm saying. She needs to expose herself.
It's
you know what I'm
true.
saying?
Yeah.
She almost did with that one dress later on.
She did.
Yeah, a lot of great dresses. A lot of great dresses.
What's a girl got to do to get arrested around here? Well, wearing that dress is a step in the right direction.
Yes, great line.
good.
That's so funny. God.
That's another thing. It's like all this classic film noir stuff.
Right.
They just have so much fun. The filmmakers have so much fun with all of these, all of the aesthetic, not just comic book, but the classic noir, film noir look and feel, the lines. Oh,
Lots of homages.
Yes, a lot of homages.
Lots of Amish people.
Homages.
Homages.
Homages. Yeah, the very famous reference to noir characters like detectives in their offices, just churning that chili can, just mixing up that chili, plunging a spoon in and out of that can of chili.
Oh boy.
I mean, smoking cigarettes. That's
Well,
his
yeah.
cigarettes. He's so
What
healthy.
is that reference?
Yeah, cigarettes and whiskey.
I think it's
chili.
it's his right. I don't know where that came from. It would be curious. It's like a vice or a thing that he does instead of whiskey and cigarettes, possibly because it was a comic strip and kids were reading it or something.
I guess. I was wondering that too.
It's fascinating.
Like, is that in the comics? Is he just like a big chili aficionado in the comics?
I mean, they're eating it constantly.
Yeah, it's like
he
every
must
meal.
have some seriously bad flatulence. He's the most flatulent cop on the force. He's eating it with Tess. He's eating it in his office, straight out of the can. Oh man,
canned chili.
Maybe it is a stand-in for whiskey. Dick Tracy didn't smoke cigarettes. I'm pretty sure of that. I read a bunch of those when I was a kid.
Yeah, I remember some of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think he smoked, but man, I don't remember him eating chili.
It's his vice. I think it's his vice. I literally think
Must
it
be.
is.
Yeah.
That's the impression I got. But
Nice.
yeah, gonna do some research on this weekend.
Yeah. And then we'll redo this episode.
When I was trying to do a little research, like there's a whole rabbit hole, just like the history of this movie and the comics. I want to read the comics now after watching this.
Mhm.
Man, I was hooked when I was a kid.
There was this great there was this great book we would rent from the library, Drew, over and over and over again.
Yep.
And it was like a history of Dick Tracy, and it showed the evolution of the characters over time, the art of it, and went into detail on this little radio wristwatch thing, and it was just so fun. It was really cool.
It's so crazy, that radio wristwatch. I wanted one so bad. Like when I was a kid, I wanted a communicator from Star Trek, a Dick Tracy wristwatch.
Right.
And now we have all of this stuff.
And now you have them.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's kind of lost its appeal because now I have it. What else is there that I can get?
Yeah.
Super cool. Super cool that we're there in our lifetime.
A green babe.
I could do that, I think.
Somewhere.
There's got to be non-poisonous body paint that I can. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's not get into
certainly,
that right now.
certainly.
Okay.
Speaking of green babes, though,
Okay.
so Tess,
Go.
played by Glynn Headley.
She was a red babe.
Well,
Nice.
she wears a green dress.
She wears green a lot.
We need a lot. I don't know about you guys, but I was kind of in love with her as well.
Sure.
Gorgeous.
Wow, I didn't
and
notice
just
her green
wonderful.
dress.
Wait, who is this? Yeah. what?
Jesus.
No, she's
she was great.
She's Babley.
She's very baby.
She's Abraham Lincoln.
Great eyes.
Wonderful woman.
Just
Yep.
a
Beautiful
terrific
face.
actress. Oh my god.
Nice smile. Oh,
Just
it's
really physical. All the physical attributes of her
And-
are great.
like.
Yeah.
And when Breathless
Just
picks up the
because
picture and says
as
"pretty
an
woman,"
object,
he
I mean,
goes.
10 out of 10.
Dick Tracy says she's a lot more.
Has a
than
vagina with legs. She's great.
Drew's trying to say something serious.
Oh,
and we're
sorry.
being assholes.
Sorry. Go ahead, Drew.
that. Well, I was sort of playing along with the joke, but yeah,
Oh, I couldn't hear
when
you.
Breathless walks into the apartment after she'd said the thing about ice cream, peach ice cream. Better eat it right away. It's starting to run a little. Just she walks over and she picks up a picture of Tess and says, "Pretty woman" or "pretty lady" or something like that. And Dick Tracy says, "She's a lot more than that."
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
that was a good line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was doing a thing between these two women and kind of telling you what masculinity is
Mhm.
in this film and what Dick Tracy is and what kind of masculinity he portrays. So, and it's, he doesn't bat an eye for Breathless Whispers, whatever the fuck her name
Right.
is.
It turns into a plank. Breathless whispers.
Yeah, and just turns into a plague, and she picks him up and puts her on her shoulder and does nasty things to him.
Nasty.
Yeah, so her character was just, I just loved it. I just loved what they were doing. This triangulation of what a man is between these two women. It was pretty cool.
Between two women. Dick Tracy 2.
Yes.
I just thought they were gonna have a little fight, and it'd sound something like this.
Mm.
And actually, I'm glad it never went there. I am. That was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if clothes came off, I would have been okay with it. But
Are we fighting or
It
are we
would've been worth
playing
it.
now, girls?
Ooh.
in like a kiddie pool filled with mud. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. Whatever.
Hey, you see that pool of crud over there? Go play in it.
The breakup scene with Tess was pretty touching. It was like, oh, that sucks. He just seems so caught off guard and he can't, talk. And it's just so well done,
Mhm.
so efficient. Very, very good filmmaking. Right
She's
there.
crying, and he's
Yep.
confused as fuck. He's like,
Yep.
and then work calls, and she's like, just go. And he said, I'll be back, thinking that she would be there. He is like, that was his way of saying, don't go. I'll be back. Don't go. But, he didn't hear her. She went anyway to her mother's. Beautiful scene of her driving away from the city. The sun is setting behind her. Beautiful road out into the country. Nice little painting. It was a painting again.
Yeah.
But,
That was great.
yeah, nice.
So did she? It seems like she broke up with him. She left because he's too fixated on the work. So the thing is, with her catching him kissing Breathless, it almost seemed like the way it played out that she wasn't concerned with infidelity necessarily. It was more. It's like she understood that he was doing it for work in a way, because she didn't address it with him later.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a line like, I think the kid asks him, what are you doing with her? And he says, we're trying to get her to testify.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and she's in the other room crying at that point. I mean, it certainly hurt her for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
But you're right. It's like, yeah, she had to take note of what she was feeling and how vulnerable she was in this relationship. Is that something I'm willing to have in my life? And I think she does say something when they're breaking up about it could be read as, all the things you got to do for work, like you're too dialed in or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said, I keep waiting for you to settle down, and I now see that you never will. Something like that.
Right.
Yes. There you go.
I definitely got the impression that the breakup was due partially to him kissing Breathless. But you guys may be right. You're showing me that maybe that wasn't all of it. But it did come after that. And I think you're right, Dan. I think she took stock of her part in the relationship, and sort of him kissing Breathless, Dick Tracy kissing Breathless, was sort of the striking blow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she had maybe been leaning that way, and that sort of pushed her over the edge. Because after he kissed Breathless, then we had the bugging of Big Boy's Place, and then we had the montage of a lot of success, Tracy's upswing, and then after that montage, that's when Tess leaves him. Because hey, you're kissing another broad and you're working all the time, dick. I'm out.
So, yeah. Okay. Yes. All right. Okay. I have one gripe.
Gripe it up.
I'm going to gripe it up. I'm going to
Gripe us in
strap
the
this
mouth.
film down and then gripe it till it.
Strap it to the furnace and gripe it.
Strap it to the furnace and gripe him to death.
Tie it to the furnace.
So, okay, he goes in to save the guy who was bugged in the warehouse. It's a setup.
I had the same.
Yeah.
He's helping the guy get out. And then it cuts to them like discovering that they just shot up the hat and cloak on a stand or something with a bucket under it.
Yeah.
And then they turn around and the guy he saved is gone and he's absolutely covered in cement. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I had to rewind that a couple times. Like, what?
Yeah.
Something was cut out of this.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was like, wait a
It's
second.
like you kind like as a kid, that make perfect sense. It's like, oh yeah, he wants to be covered in cement so they won't know it's him. But at the same time,
so
doesn't really hold up beyond child idiot logic.
I guess, in the process of rescuing him, the cement poured down and just filled the muzzle of his pistol. And,
and where's the other guy?
and where's the other guy?
Gone.
Yeah. Just disappeared.
He just turned around. He's totally covered in this stuff. So funny.
And the gray oatmeal.
Weird, because he opened the box from the viewer's right side. And the guy, he gets out and I'm like, okay, so he got a little splashed on his shoes and his hands. Okay, big deal. But next scene, he's fucking covered in it. Completely, like it just took a bath in the stuff. Like, what?
So funny. Yeah.
Bizarre.
By the way, that guy, his name,
2 stars.
His name was Bugs, I think. Was that his name? Bugs?
Bugs, with the ears.
Yeah, he's got giant ears. I thought that was hilarious. Like,
was
it's
good.
par for the course, but it was like, fuck yeah. The big guy with big ears is listening to them.
And bugs people. Yeah.
Just hiding out in the attic. With the
I know,
microphone
that's so
recording.
funny. Right.
He's radioing people what he hears. That's awesome.
Right.
And killing his friends, the bugs, the cockroach that made the coffee spill down.
I had another gripe, and it was after. Well, okay, let me start here. When Al Pacino and Flat Top are going up to like the safe room or wherever the hell it is, when they realize that there's somebody in there and it's Tess.
Yeah.
Did anybody else catch Al Pacino like filleting the cigar that he's holding?
No.
He's like because the action is going on with Flat Top. He's opening the safe, but Al Pacino's behind him, like just shoving that cigar in and out of his mouth. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing with this cigar?
I did not see that.
It's a really quick shot where I'm like, oh my God, dude, chill out on that cigar, bro.
Wow. He does like absolutely get it super wet. He's spinning it around in his mouth all the time.
Yeah.
So like, God damn. Yeah.
So he's munching nuts constantly and filleting cigars.
Okay, I got another gripe. I got another gripe.
Interesting. Okay.
So he doesn't like Breathless that way. Thank God.
Yeah.
It's just a power thing.
Thank
I guess.
God.
I got 2 more gripes, but Matt, it sounded like you weren't quite done.
Well, I just wanted to bring up the fact that like when they all try to leave and that those first 2 or I guess 3 cars roll out and Dick Tracy's just like, shoot him, motherfucker! They just like light him up.
Yeah.
I was like, how does he know that Tess isn't in there? Or he just-
I know.
I was wondering the same thing.
That was sick though. Just great bassy firing from a gun.
Oh, it was awesome. Practical
So cool.
explosions.
Yes,
Yes.
the practical explosions, the
badass.
light pole falling down, the cars going over,
Yes.
flipping,
Oh yeah.
tires going
Yeah.
out. It was like,
Pyrotechnics.
dude,
Yeah,
it looks so,
so cool.
real. It's awesome.
The shot when Flat Top emerges from the car and Dick Tracy
Yeah.
like blows him away with
Yeah.
the Tommy gun and the car explodes behind him. I was, oh my
Yes.
god,
Sick.
that's so good.
Right as he's shooting. That was in the previews. I
Yes.
remember that. I remember watching the previews of that. Like an explosion behind Tracy as he's firing. And it's that particular scene.
Spins around with a Tommy gun.
Fuck yeah!
It's so iconic. I love it.
It's amazing.
And of course, Warren Beatty was Clyde and
Right.
Yes.
He was, yeah.
met the same fate in a movie
Yeah.
like 10 years or 20 years earlier. This is kind of a cool little the turns tabled.
The turns have been tabled. Time is a flat table
That time was a turtle. What?
as opposed to a bumpy table. Okay, what else? What else? Someone had a gripe, right?
Yeah, I got
Another
one.
one?
I got. They're not gripes. They're just fun little facts. So, fun fact: when
Oh, it better be. No, I'm joking.
when Tracy comes in to arrest Big Boy, he's like, "Oh, we found a bunch of walnuts. You eat walnuts?" And he's like,
Oh,
Big
man.
Boy's like, "Yeah, I eat walnuts." And he says, "Yeah, they're good for the liver." And then Tracy goes, "Yeah, but they're bad for the brain. You got sloppy, Big Boy." And it's actually walnuts are very good for the brain. It turns out.
Yeah,
very
you
good.
idiots.
God.
Dick, you fucking dick.
1990.
God.
The science was so behind. back
Everybody's a nutritionist, huh?
Chili's good for you.
Of course.
then.
Doctors recommend chili.
Be sure to eat your chili.
All he eats is chili and ice cream, so naturally he's averse to walnuts.
yeah.
He
Peach ice
hasn't
cream.
taken a shit in a week.
By the way, on that note, what the hell was the deal with the bear where you get water from its dick? Why was
I
that?
want a porcelain bear with a spigot where his itty bit should be. Absolutely.
That was the
And a clandestine tape recorder in the top.
Yeah,
Yes.
you gotta be in there.
yeah.
So
So
funny.
a recorder disguised as a water
Yeah,
cooler.
you can slow down while you play it to
Yeah, it's very sophisticated.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
you could do that to anything.
Big boy did
It's
it.
not digital.
Big boy did it.
You can actually tell. They would have-
I love that scene,
So
by the way, with Hoffman
That's-
eventually
great
just
scene.
says what he needs to say at normal,
Right.
like, completely normally.
Yeah.
All the mumbles
Right.
is just an act.
gives it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Clever
That's
guy.
where you find him.
Clever guy. Yeah.
By the way, anybody
He's
see
in
Kathy
Yankees.
Bates there? That scene where he's
Yes.
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 I did a double
like,
take.
oh,
Is that
shit.
fucking Kathy Bates?
yeah,
Me
same
too.
hair. It's like, oh damn.
She's like in her head by now. She's thinking about it and has to shake it off and focus on
Yeah.
the typewriter.
Right.
Amazing
What the fuck did I
acting,
just say?
as
I can't-
always.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Great.
she's great. The amount of just great tiny roles,
Yeah.
the little cameos.
Oh, yeah, James
From,
Caan.
like,
God.
James
Yeah,
Caan was
Caan.
hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, we got to talk about that scene. Oh, man. Hell yeah. He was great.
Yeah, he just kind of repeats himself. So, why you? He does a whole spiel. But why you?
Will you excuse me?
There's only one Napoleon, one Washington, and one me.
Yeah.
That's where I got that from the intro. Just in case everybody's
Is that where you-
confused about that.
That's where you got it.
Gotcha.
That's where I
For all,
got it
the,
from.
Gotcha.
for all the listeners now you know.
Now you know
Yeah,
that
now you
I'm
know.
not an
Matt
idiot.
stole it from Dick Tracy. Stole it. The film.
Stole it from a stupid taquini. It's from a movie. It's not a slur. Shut up. Okay.
You're all right, kid.
Friggin' Catherine O'Hara was in that scene too. I don't think she has any lines.
Wait, where was
She's one of
she?
the
Wow.
gangsters.
What?
Yeah, she's one of the gangsters that Pacino or the big boy rounded up. She was
Wow.
at the table.
No
Okay.
shit.
Wait a
I didn't
second,
notice
That's
that.
her. Crazy.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I did notice a woman, but I didn't get a good look at her face. I don't think I was looking at other things.
Oh, that's not Madonna.
Looking at her
so-
tits, huh, Dan? Look at her vagina, huh? What are you doing, man? What are you doing with
Through
your
the
life?
table. I've got X-ray vision.
I kept looking at scrotum face guy.
Right.
Scroats and goats? Yeah, man, that guy is really good.
Scrots my God.
I looked up that actor. I'm like, who is that guy? And yeah, I've seen him before. I don't remember his name, but solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
Shriveled scrotes? Is that you?
Shriveled scrotes.
Shriveled shaved scrote? Is that you? Haven't seen each other since prep school. Did you land on your feet? I just watched The Holdovers. That movie's awesome.
Oh God, so good.
I gotta see it.
Okay, the scene where he's like against when they're doing that meeting, that mob meeting, and Dick Tracy is in a yellow trench coat up against a yellow wall outside. Fucking hilarious. But I also remember the stunt man getting his face handed to him when he leans over to grab that pole. That's from the previews, I think. I just remember like, damn, that looks like it kind of fucking hurt.
Yeah. Face bounced off
I was
the
like,
pole.
how bad are his balls hurting?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice the face. I was just like, oh my God, his balls.
And then he like bangs his knees on the stunt jump to the car.
Yeah.
But even though that was pretty sick too. I'm like, God damn, no wonder they kept these takes. This guy was banging himself up to it.
Yeah, I watched that twice.
Me too.
Just to see the impact. Like, damn, he really got nailed by that light pole.
It's like, are they trying to make it a little clumsy, But I don't know.
That was a sweet sequence, though, man.
Yeah.
That was awesome. The car blows up and it just cuts to his two guys in the car. Great Scott! And that's how you felt when it went off. Like, God damn, that's a big ass practical explosion.
Yeah.
It was so good. That sequence was rad. Holy
She
shit.
just blew up James Caan. This guy can't stop getting whacked in cars.
Exactly.
Can't stop getting whacked in cars. Yeah.
I'm gonna whack you off, James.
I'm going to rub you off, bro. So you just watch out.
Speaking of another little, it's not a huge stunt or anything, but District Attorney Dick Van Dyke,
Yeah.
when he gets shot, when he gets rubbed off, he like falls back onto the bed and falls onto the floor. And I rewound that too because it's like, oh, he actually did that. It's like that's not nothing.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was like a good little fall.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's watch that again.
Yeah.
I should have bought this movie instead of rented it.
I
It's
know,
free on
seriously.
YouTube.
What?
Yeah.
God
Okay.
damn it. Oh, I'm happy to spend $4.
Well, it could be it's free because mom and dad have premium. I don't know, but I thought it was free on YouTube.
Oh, no. The 1945 Dick Tracy film is free on YouTube. I know that because I started watching it, but
Well, I watched it on YouTube. I don't know. It could be because
You did?
mom and dad have premium, and I'm
Oh.
still like on their account. I don't know.
oh,
That could be
you're on
why.
their account. How nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Same here. It's pretty wonderful not having ads.
You watched the wrong movie, Matt. You watched the wrong movie. I don't know how you've kept up with the discussion. It must be it sounds like this Dick Tracy just ripped off the 1945 Dick Tracy
It's just complete
in every scene.
shot for shot remake.
How old is Al Pacino at this point? He must be pretty fucking old. Dick
like
Van Dyke is like a
150.
dinosaur.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Awesome.
Well, you know what they say. Age is just how many bruises you got in your asshole. Thomas Edison.
Yeah, his quotes are great. They're close enough where you're like, what?
Yeah, the first one's like, that could have been Jefferson. Yeah. Like law without order and order without law. I was like, that
Yes,
sounds like
yeah.
Jefferson could have said that.
Nietzsche, he quotes Nietzsche at some point.
But then a little later, they're like, wait a second, there's no way. There's no way Benjamin Franklin said that.
Al Pacino's performance in this movie deserves an Oscar. Benjamin Franklin.
The writing,
wow.
the script deserves an Oscar.
Mm.
Mom.
Mom said that.
Did you guys notice towards the end when Tess was kidnapped and the cops were moving in on Club Ritz, and it was like towards the climax when Al Pacino's grabbing Tess and running out. Once Big Boy left the table, there was a man and a woman in a yellow dress, and there was a shot, and they looked at each other, and then a few things happened, and then the next time we see them, the woman moves closer to the man.
Trying to get that midnight kiss.
Is that what it
Is that
was? Because
it?
I couldn't figure it out. I was like, what the hell does this have to do with anything?
Yeah, I was
That's
confused.
what I was
but-
thinking.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you guys had me on the show.
Was it the midnight kiss? That's what it was?
It was New Year's Eve, midnight kiss.
New Year's Eve,
Great job,
midnight kiss.
Daniel.
She wants her kiss.
Gotcha. Thanks, Dan.
You're
As
welcome.
always.
You're welcome,
Saving the
everyone.
day.
Very nice.
Yes.
There's a reason we keep you around.
Thank you very much. You know, a memorable scene for me was the scene in the city car park with 88 Keys. That's something I remember from childhood as well. That just the really strong angles, and that's the first time you really see that character of No Face. It was just a creepy scene. I really liked it.
Oh yeah, that's
all
cool.
These little moments that happen very quickly. I forgot how important the piano player was for
Yeah.
crying out loud.
Friggin' Mandy Patinkin.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I thought that
Diego Montoya.
Right.
is that him? Oh,
yeah.
shit.
He's
Nice.
kind of a legend in the musical stage world.
Really?
He did have a good voice, I guess. I was like, oh, I don't know anything about singing, but this guy sounds like he knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And he's staring at Madonna.
Great voice.
She's really not having it. She's just singing away from him. I was like, man, poor guy.
Yeah, I was
But,
trying to remember. I thought that like he was going to make a play for her. I was trying to remember from childhood what had happened between them. I thought he got jealous about her, but turns out I'm much happier with the way the story actually is than my memory of what may have happened.
That's so funny. I was anticipating the same thing too. I'm like, this guy doesn't he like try to go for her or get double crossed? I don't remember. I don't know. Maybe I didn't understand what was going on when I was a kid.
Yeah.
She's basically a blackmailer, which is also a noir prototype. So I was like, okay, he's just caught up in this dirty little game.
The poor innocent piano player.
But he's like very enthusiastic about it when he does get caught up, and he's like, "Oh, look,
Yeah.
it's just 10%, man. Come on."
He's trying to sell it pretty hard.
Man, I'm so happy that that's Inigo Montoya. God, I knew he looked familiar. But yeah, that just makes this character so much better.
He's a great sword fighter.
Prepare to die.
Okay. Is this a good time to take a quick break?
Sure.
Yes.
I'm going to say yes, it is.
Sure.
I'm gonna say, piss it is.
Because this peach is starting to run, you know what I mean?
Now I gotta go jerk off again. God.
You can do that on here. Just mute your mic.
Just mute your mic, turn on the camera.
Do you know how many times I mute my mic during this show?
Yes.
I don't.
What I'm
Yeah.
saying is I happy stretch all the time.
This happy boy is very well stretched.
I'll do
Okay.
happy stretch.
Okay, I'm going to take a quick break. We'll be back.
Chili with Dick, ice cream with Dick, Dick wrapped up in yellow, Dick tied up and about to blow, Dick and Dick Jr. and Dick Van Dyke. Those are three Dicks we really like. We're tickled by Dick and his masculine poise. Dick makes us giddy as schoolboys.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back, everybody.
We never went anywhere. We never went.
We've been here the whole
time. We've been here the whole time,
Don't
see?
take pee drakes. You don't. We don't pee on Drake in this.
I'd like to pee
We
on
don't
Drake the way he
pee
pees
Drake.
on children.
In this podcast, there are no pee breaks on this podcast. We're the hard boys. We do everything the hard way.
You know how hard it is to pee when you're hard? Almost impossible.
Gotta do a handstand.
Okay, does anybody have any more they'd like to discuss? Any favorite scenes?
I think I got all my favorites in. I did like the almost closing scene when he fails to propose a second time. And then the end shot. Excellent. Both very excellent.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I teared up there. He throws her the ring and she's oh my god, the smile that she gives when she looks up. I melted a little bit. My peach ice cream melted a little bit.
I don't think that means what you think it means.
I don't think you're supposed to. Never mind.
Do you do the melting? Is the peach running because of you? Maybe sometime.
Who's
I think
doing
the
the
peach is
slurping?
supposed to run down your thigh or something. I don't know. That's
think-
what Robert Plant told me.
No. That's lemon
lemon.
juice.
Lemon.
Oh, Jesus
The
Christ.
man's the lemon, the woman's the peach.
Okay.
There it is.
Smash them together and drink them all up, I guess.
Yes. That's what I'm screaming. Smash.
Who's the eggplant?
The
You
kids,
use
the
the
eggplant.
eggplant to smash them.
Kids the eggplant. Jesus.
Oh God. Ugh. You want to tell your kids about the lemons and the peaches? Well, we're here for you. Just $5,000 a conversation.
We're gonna,
You can't be in the room with us.
Squeeze you until the juice runs out. You're gonna like it.
Till the juice runs down your leg. We'll make sure it's running down your leg, even if we're meeting on Zoom. Don't worry, we have our ways.
And then your kids will be saying, "Take the bad men away. They scare me." That's from Dick Tracy. That's from the movie. He says it earlier. Okay.
It's true. It's pretty funny. Yeah.
Good call. He didn't say it quite in that voice, though. You sound kind of.
That was an uncanny impersonation, if I say so myself.
Jumping Jehoshaphat. It was Dick Tracy just now.
Definitely some flouting of the due process laws in this, but that's okay.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch why he had to take the gamble to get Al Pacino off the street so fast. Al
Pacino's a menace.
No, he thought, I think because of the earring that he found that he kept secret, I think he thought that he had enough evidence that he would get a conviction. So he was taking a gamble. Because we know, the viewers know that Big Boy wears gloves when he eats walnuts. But Dick Tracy didn't know that, but he did have that earring that he kept hidden from everybody. Like a good cop would, right?
Yeah.
It's true.
You find an earring, you pocket
comes
it.
up
You
again.
don't put it in the evidence.
That's a noir thing for sure, too. Just withholding evidence.
Something
Yeah.
comes up again when she's on the desk. I'll just say,
It comes up all right.
the earring came up again out of his pocket. It came up out of his pocket through the zipper.
What was it writing on?
And
Oh, yeah.
a wave of
Glaze? What?
Glaze.
Gray
okay.
oatmeal?
we're talking about favorite scenes.
Yeah. Lay it on me.
Should we just go over all of Madonna's scenes again?
Yeah, pretty much. I was gonna say, just for every time Madonna was on screen is my
by
favorite
frame.
moment.
I didn't really, honestly, I never really found Madonna all that like attractive growing up. But upon this watching, I was like, oh my God, what the
I
fuck?
agree with you. It was
Holy
crazy.
shit.
Yeah.
Did you feel like a virgin?
Man, I was like, I was touched for the very first time.
Yeah. Same experience. I was like, I could see why they cast her here.
Apparently, it was supposed to. Beatty originally cast
Kathy Bates.
Sean Young from Blade Runner.
Oh, yeah. Nice. And from Ace Ventura.
Yes. Apparently, she claimed that he fired her after she shut down his sexual advances.
There's no way that happened in Hollywood.
There's
Not
no
a
way.
chance.
Right.
He claimed that he just made a mistake in casting her. He went the wrong direction and he felt bad about it.
Yeah, I made a mistake. This woman won't suck my dick. What do you want to do?
Her peach doesn't melt the right way. You know what I'm saying? Dude, that would have been cool if Sean Young was cast. She would have been able to say something like, "What's the matter, pet dick?"
Your gun is digging into my head.
Yes. Not quite the classical blonde femme fatale.
Not
from
quite,
Noir,
right.
but she is wonderful and gorgeous.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
A little robotic, but
Yeah,
little mannish.
She's all right for a
Hey.
Skinner.
Skin job.
Skin job.
Right? Maybe it's
I
both.
think they use both.
She's got a really bad case of hemorrhoids.
she's got some terrible hemorrhoids.
She's pretty good for a man.
If only she could keep the laces out.
If only she knew how to operate under pressure.
If only she had a smaller dick, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Ooh.
it was pretty big.
Yeah, sizable.
Matt, what about you? Same? Madonna scenes? Your favorite scenes?
I like, honestly, I like the whole Pacino Tess kidnap scene where he's like got an ongoing monologue, just
That's
being a
pretty funny.
freaking weirdo.
Always blaming her.
Yeah, I didn't want to do
And
this.
other people.
What do you?
Yeah. Way to go. This is all your fault getting mixed up in this.
I didn't.
I have to
kidnap
confess.
him.
I love you.
Yeah, that sequence was great. I just kind of wish
great.
that Tracy had a little more. Like he gets his ass saved so many fucking times in this. Like even in the climax, he doesn't. I guess he does eventually toss Lips or no, not Lips. I'm sorry, Pacino. I'm just gonna call him Pacino.
Big boy.
Like tosses him down into the depths of the bridge mechanics or whatever.
Return
I
of
don't
the
even
Jedi.
know what the fuck. Yeah, pretty much.
Empire Strikes Back.
Batman.
Yeah, all of those. But yeah, and that's only after like Breathless saves him and the kid like saves him, and you know, I would have liked him to be a little bit more manly and badass. Doesn't get saved by a bitch and
Take
a fucking
charge.
kid, you know.
A bitch and a kid.
He does just respond with, "You don't say, kid." You know, it's pretty funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's all I got really.
Cool. No, I agree.
Yeah. I like that.
He's not active in his own stories, problem solving sometimes.
Yeah,
He is, but there's a lot of saving from the other characters.
Yeah.
What you said. I'll just delete what I just said. You've said it much better.
you could just put that several times.
The movie would have been better if Dick Tracy saved his own ass a few times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Once or
right.
twice, you know.
Yeah. Without banging himself in the face with a light pole, street light. I got this, boys. Don't worry. Boom. Oh, my fucking incisors are broken.
We're standing in the middle of the
Jesus
street with a
Christ.
Tommy gun and firing at a car that might contain the love of his life. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I do love how passive Tess is. She's being like tied up and she really doesn't make a move. It's the classic damsel in distress thing. It just like ties her to some gears.
I know.
Like, you see that can? That's gonna be your head.
Right.
Yeah. I love actually I got some feelings like I got in gym class when I was climbing the rope as a kid when she was tied up to the I was like, ooh, damsel in distress. Ah, I love it.
He became Vincent Price as well.
Whoa! Oh wow! I'm gonna save this girl.
She's gonna do my nails. Oh,
There's a little Jeff Goldblum in there as well. Oh, man. I'm gonna save this girl. Life finds a way.
I'm in the gear room by myself, talking to myself.
There's a wrench, droppings. Don't know it's droppings.
Jettison to the first attempt. A wrench, there's rat, empty can, and droppings. Dino droppings.
I find my fuzzy feelings activated when I see a woman tied
Tied up,
Tied-
helpless.
to a very slow
Tied to some
moving
gears.
object
About
to
to die.
her ultimate demise. Yes. It's such a classic. It happened in the Batman series when we were kids. It was always Batman and Robin tied up. I don't know. It's just this sense of adventure that, as I was saying at the very
do you like it
beginning
when
of the
Robin
show,
was tied up as well?
any kid tied up. tries to save his life.
Woman, child, doesn't matter. Gets me going either way.
Heck, even Batman.
Drew's in touch with his Greek roots.
Yeah. I am. Tragedy. Deus ex machina. Oedipus Rex. All of these things.
Well, like Oedipus sex. Yeah.
Whoa.
No.
Okay, so moving on from this strange conversation that could get us arrested.
Now, my favorite scenes, aside from the jovial every Madonna scene, jovial and true. Also, I really liked Beatty's portrayal of Dick Tracy. I loved his expressions, as I said
Gay.
before. Like just
he's interesting.
the way he talks with his face in this movie. It's good.
That's
Really good.
pretty much how you talk, man. You gotta have.
It's called
face.
acting.
I, like Ace Ventura, talk with my butthole. You won't believe. You got to try it. It opens a lot of doors for you.
Asshole mio, oh sodomy.
We'll see what Stuart says with his asshole is 30 seconds, no more dick. 30 seconds, no more dick.
Hang in there, Stuart.
See, Matt really listens. You know, he's a good listener.
30 seconds, that's it. 27, 26.
Oh, Jesus.
I think my favorite scenes were with Dick Van Dyke, because you had Dick Tracy, Dick Van Dyke. It's Dick on Dick.
Some dick on dick action.
God damn it.
True.
That was very clever. Why didn't I think of that? That was really good.
You get the kid involved there, and there's 3 dicks. And
Dick on Dick on Dick,
Dick
Jr.
Dick, and Dick Jr. Dick Dyke, Dick Jr.
3 dicks, 1 office.
Dick Dyke.
Oh, God.
Good job, Stu. Good man.
Thank you. You know, I know Dick.
If there's one thing you know.
There's one thing I'm good at. It's putting dicks together. Okay. Let's see. I do want to mention that last episode we watched Joker Part 2, Folie à Deux, and this was kind of a perfect foil to that, because this is also in some ways a musical. I mean, they hired one of the most famous, really legendary musical writers, Stephen Sondheim, to write a few original songs for this. And it is in some ways a musical, and it's a comic book adaptation, but just night and day. I know you can't like compare them because they're completely different things, but one is fun and the other is not.
the other
Yes.
is shit.
Listen to the other episode and then decide which one we're talking about here.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. No spoilers.
No spoilers. I don't know. I just thought it was funny. I couldn't stop thinking about it when I was watching this. Like, man, that would be something like this would be a fun Joker musical if they just went absolutely zany with it, like they did with this.
Yeah, respect the audience.
How do
And
you
go
make
zany
a
with it,
Joker
for fuck's sake.
musical boring? God,
Seriously.
unbelievable.
I guess I've been kind of obsessed with it because I'm like, why did it bug me so much? And apparently it's kind of like a fuck you to the studio and to the fans who just want Joker. And it's like,
We kind of we what did we do? We were kind of thinking that was the case, didn't we?
yeah,
We were kind of
So you've determined that it
Positive.
is, Stu?
apparently, yeah, it seems like a fuck you. But the
Why
problem
would-
is that it encapsulates all of the actual fans of the first
Right.
movie and the
Right.
Joker also.
Right.
So you kind of just said fuck you to everybody, and it's
Just
kind of
throw
like
away.
Yeah, why would you say fuck you to the fans? Like that's
feelings kind of mutual, I guess, if that's the way you feel.
Yeah.
they got their money. They're good. You know.
Yep.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Dumb cock of poo poo brains. God,
Go suck an egg.
You know what?
go suck an egg.
Sucking. God, you know, I was so offended. I was like, you can't say that, kid, when I saw this as a kid. I was 9 years old when I saw Dick Tracy, or 10 or whatever.
Wow.
Wow. Everybody knows what year I was born now. But I was like, when I heard that,
73.
1938.
when I heard that, I was like, God damn, that kid.
Yeah.
I thought,
It's
God
the way
damn,
he says
holy
it, his
fucking
performance.
shit, that fucking kid just said a really bad word. But yeah, go suck an egg. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
God
it's
damn.
the kid's performance. Yeah, it's good. The kid did a good job.
Kid did
Yeah,
awesome.
he did.
Go suck an egg. He just says it so forcefully.
Yeah.
And then some years later, we would be exposed to I'll teach your grandmother to suck eggs.
Yes, yes. Some Ren and Stimpy action, right? Why do people suck eggs? Mom, why do people suck eggs? Talk to your father,
Does
dear.
grandma suck eggs?
Why would he teach grandmother to suck eggs? Okay.
Hey, on a,
Yeah.
on a real quick note about the, God, I know this is the Dick Tracy episode, but I just recently watched Into the Spider-Verse, the second one, for the second time. And wow, worth a second watch, actually worth a third watch. But one of the things that I love about the Marvel stuff, and particularly Stan Lee, is the humor and the love for the fans that they brought to it. It was always about like keeping always true to the character. And DC just continuously somehow fails at that miserably. Like you have people sabotaging themselves in the DC universe to say a fuck you to the studio, I get, but a fuck you to the fans, that's horrible. Like, I don't know, just the character of Spider-Man written by Stan Lee, he's always supposed to be funny. The only, and they bring a point to this, the only unfunny Spider-Man is Spider-Man 2099, Miguel, the leader. And I don't know if any of you guys have seen that yet, but it's super good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I don't know, I just like when people do things right. And DC Studios seems to have their shit turned upside down over and over and over again. It's like a cement mixer that Dick Tracy somehow stepped under. I don't know. It's so weird. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that, the comparing Marvel to DC, and this isn't a Marvel DC conversation. But when you mentioned that it was a fuck you to fans, I was just thinking about the Spider-Man movie I watched yesterday. And this thing that stood out in that Spider-Man movie was every Peter Parker has humor. Every Peter Parker is funny. Every Spider-Man is funny, and just how true they are to that all the way through. Thick and thin, no matter what happens, they're true to that. And here's DC doing this, that, and every other thing. Hiring Jared Leto, like, what a fuck you to fans for. Anyway, back to Dick Tracy.
Sometimes you just got to rant.
A classic Drew rant. No, I agree. It's comic book movies are a little hit or miss these days.
Yeah.
Some of them are good. Some of them are take themselves way too seriously.
Not in 1990 though. Thank God.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to introduce a little section I call general trivia. Okay.
Oh shit!
First time trying this.
Never heard that name before. That's a good name, Stuart.
Oh.
Let's go.
I'm just kidding. Okay.
Okay, just a few little tidbits. Two-way wristwatch. Why can't I say the word wristwatch?
Wristwatch.
It's a wristwatch.
Apparently, that actually inspired the creation of the mobile phone. I didn't look up a specific citation for this. It was on the Wikipedia for the movie or the comic strip. But apparently the inventor of the first mobile phone was inspired by the wristwatch radio.
Sweet.
And not
From Chester
Star
Gould's.
Trek.
Not Star Trek. From Chester Gould's Dick Tracy. Yeah.
Yeah, from the 30s. Cool.
Yeah. Isn't that's so now we have that. We have those. We have smartwatches that you can just talk to anybody on. Like
You heard it here first, folks. Dick Tracy invented your mobile phone.
You have a fictional character to thank for the miracle of being able to communicate across the globe using
Pretty cool.
a watch.
Miracle.
And that's why you are a subscriber to this show. We're good for your brain.
We're good for your brain.
Send us your wristwatches.
By the way, did you guys know that this fictional character was created by a real character named Chester Gould?
He was a real character.
Yes.
See?
He loved chili. He loved to eat chili. Right out of the can. Straight out of the can, see?
I got to look up these comics and see if there was really chili eating in the
Loved the
comics.
color yellow. Wore a yellow suit, a hideous yellow suit everywhere he went.
It's not hideous, man.
And a matching fedora, for God's sake. Okay, sorry, go ahead. Cool. Interesting, Stuart. Continue.
Let's see. They marketed this movie. It was a huge marketing campaign. They wanted for it to be Batman, basically. Disney Touchstone. It was released under Touchstone, which was Disney's kind of more adult oriented arm.
Also,
A little too much Tommy gun violence for it to be a Disney film at the time, apparently.
And now we have Deadpool on the Disney Channel, which is great.
How times have changed. But Beatty was not in interviews. I think he said like of the media's obsession with promotion and demographics and all this. He's like, I find this upsetting and anti-cultural is what he said. I thought that was kind of interesting.
So he was a culture warrior before there was a culture.
Exactly.
Wow.
this man invented everything that we now know in life.
Yeah, cell phones, culture war.
Culture wars.
Crazy. Good job, Warren Beatty.
That's wild. Way to go, Warren.
Eating pussy.
Blasting that.
Whoa,
He
whoa,
might have
whoa,
invented
whoa.
that.
He may
Back a
have.
second.
He may have. He invented the way we do it today. That's for sure. There we go.
No one ate more pussy in the 60s and 70s than Warren Beatty, I'm pretty sure.
Can you imagine how hairy it was back then? Oh my god! You know how many they could probably floss with all the hair they got in their mouths those days, like crazy.
Yeah, you didn't need to floss as long as you were a movie star in the new Hollywood.
Yeah, it's true. Just eat some tuna and you'll be good to go.
That's why Jack Nicholson's teeth are so spotless.
Oh my God.
Robert De Niro, Harvey Keitel, the list goes on.
Richard Gere. He's got some great teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Michael
my
Douglas
God.
got throat cancer from eating so much pussy.
Actually, I think eating pussy cures throat cancer.
Oh.
I don't know why he got it. Maybe it's against his religion.
Eating pussy
Yeah.
against religion.
Throat cancer?
Pussy.
Another thing they did with the marketing for this, they sold T-shirts, Dick Tracy T-shirts, for the price of a ticket. So you could go and you could buy a T-shirt and you would get admission to the movie. I don't think they did this at every theater, but they did it a lot.
I want a t-shirt.
And why don't we do that more? Like, Jesus,
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I would totally go for a T-shirt. Go see a movie, get a T-shirt.
Alamo Drafthouse used to do this where they'd like give you a free mug of the movie or something, right? That's pretty expensive if you just buy it at the front.
Nice.
But not anymore. Not anymore.
Maybe that's why they almost went bankrupt.
Maybe. That's why Sony owns them now.
Let's see. What else I got for trivia? First movie to use digital audio. Digital audio recording for dubbing and things like that.
That's cool.
Yeah. Danny Elfman, not a fan of digital audio. He audio processing specifically, I think. He said it would kill traditional film scoring because it allowed filmmakers to prioritize sound effects over music.
He was right.
I don't quite understand that argument, but
Me neither.
yeah, apparently he was not a fan of that.
I mean, it's just like not being a fan of AI audio, you know, whatever. Who cares, man? Let computers make your music for you, you know what I'm saying?
it's fine.
He's just worried about his job. That's all.
What a pussy.
Yeah, what a bitch. Let's see. Art Linson produced this film.
Yes. Yeah.
Author of What Just Happened and a couple other books on the movie industry.
Produced Heat.
Produced Heat.
The Edge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
legendary.
The
Legendary dude.
Edge.
He bought the rights for a Dick Tracy movie in 1977.
Wow.
And he was trying to find a maker for it for 13 years, apparently.
Wow.
So he and Beatty met over ice cream and
Over
made
some
a movie.
Peach ice
Maybe.
cream. Yeah.
Somewhere on Sunset. Yep.
Oh, I got another piece of trivia.
Okay.
Billy likes to drink soda.
What?
What?
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Are you sure?
Miss Lippy's car is green.
Whoa.
What the fuck?
Nah.
For all you movie buffs out there.
Okay.
Bet you didn't see that
Madonna
coming.
is one hot piece of ass.
Me and her friend, my friend and her got it on, if you know what I'm saying.
No, they didn't.
No. But you can
Well,
imagine,
you can imagine what
it'd
it'd be like, right?
if they did. I imagined what it would be like if I got it on with Madonna in my dreams.
Me too. Right there, in the middle of the movie, I paused it. Went through a little what I like to call a little thought experiment.
Dan calls them thought experiments. I call them happy stretches. Dan's a little more sophisticated.
Okay. Let's move on to reviews. I didn't read too many reviews. There's a couple 1 stars. I'm not going to name names, but one is titled Ridiculous, and the text of the
Ridiculous
review is
Some dirty work.
which is all you need to know. So great review there. The movie's ridiculous, and that's all you need to know.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Another 1-star review. Weird movie. Not what I was expecting.
That's a Gen Z.
What were you expecting?
Isn't that a good thing usually? I mean,
Yeah.
do you want
Yeah.
to watch the things that you're expecting? I don't get
Not
it.
a
Yeah.
porno.
I just like to watch things that make me not think about different aesthetics or time periods or just think about storytelling in a different way. I'd like to see the same movies over and over again.
That's what I want.
Actually, now that we say that, I was not expecting Joker 2, but not
Yeah.
in the same way that we're talking about. Okay, I'll stop talking about Joker 2. God damn it.
God, get off the
Wrong
Joker
episode.
2 train. Fuck.
But like Stuart, I'm a little bit obsessed with how fucking horrible it was.
I don't understand why it angers me so much. So I need to
Exactly.
dig deep. Tarantino liked it. And I just need to know. I need to
No.
understand.
What?
Oh,
Really?
He liked it because it was a fuck you.
Yeah, he
Well,
would.
yeah, a movie industry
He
guy.
would.
Yeah.
But we can use this, guys. We can use this. So let's put the Joker 2 behind the Patreon paywall. And now, like, you know, these idiots who listen to our show are going to be like, oh, what are they talking about with Joker 2? You guys got to pay for it. You know, pay us $17 million a month and you can listen to the show.
That's all it is.
I like where your thinking
That's all you need.
is going and at.
Just edit out the part where I call them idiots. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got
These beautiful listeners.
These geniuses, titans of IQs with an apostrophe.
Our listeners, there's nobody. Some say they're as beautiful as Madonna in the 90s. I don't,
Wow.
you know,
Whoa.
that's our listeners. What can I say?
Beautiful listeners. We have the best listeners.
They got nipples, and we're going to milk them.
The nipples are the best.
Okay, last review. This is how this one goes. Madonna, need I say more? The woman can't act or sing.
Wow.
That's the entire review.
Act or sing. That's
There you go.
that's a quite the statement.
It's quite
I
the
don't know
detachment
who
from reality.
wrote that, but have you seen or listened to her? Did we watch the same movie? I don't.
She can't sing, which is why she's had a 40-year career in music and is a multi-millionaire best-selling musician.
It's probably like what's
He's
her, what's her
right.
name? Selena. It's probably Selena. That's why she got killed.
My
Selena
arch
Gomez
nemesis.
got killed?
The other Selena. Just
No.
Selena.
Oh, okay.
She got
Yeah.
assassinated by one of Madonna's henchmen.
Ha.
Okay, this is not funny. That's a real person. I'm sorry.
That's sick, man. That's sick.
I see.
Yeah,
I see where you're going.
must have been a disgruntled gay man who wrote that review, I think.
Mm.
Because anybody else fell in love.
Or a Catholic woman born in 1945.
Yes. Okay. That's enough of that.
Nice.
Let's move on to the ratings. Matt, what would you give this movie?
Well, I'd like to start with a quote. A good movie is only a good movie if you like it. Nietzsche.
God, he was a smart guy.
And I like this movie.
Thank you, Nietzsche. Always giving great insights.
Oh, the
To our
guy,
lives.
that guy knew movies for sure.
Same guy that said God is dead.
All right. Yeah.
He knew
Yeah,
a
he's
lot.
talking
He
about
knew a lot.
movies.
You knew a lot.
Yeah, so I like this movie partially because I'm sure that, you know, my opinion is colored by the past, by nostalgia. But overall, I like this movie. I'm going to give it, you know what? I'm going to give it 9 out of 10 stars. I'm going to give it a bag of popcorn with Milk Duds and Schlibbergoos thrown in there too.
Schlibbity goose.
So good.
Nobody goes.
Those schlibbity goose are running. You better eat them quick.
Yeah, they melt. They melt in your popcorn, man. You gotta lick them up. But yeah, overall, really good stuff. I liked watching it again after so many years. And I love Dick. What can I say?
You heard it here. Matt loves Dick.
Tracy. Dick Tracy.
Dick Tracy.
The movie.
What about you, Dan?
That's tough. For some reason, I didn't think of my scoring beforehand. I would say probably 8 out of 10 as well. 8 out of 10. Yeah, definitely colored by some nostalgia, but I think it's been years since I've seen it, but it is just what it's doing, what it's attempting to do. It just does it so well. It's comic book. It doesn't take itself too seriously. There's great pyrotechnics. There's great colors and costuming and makeup. It's just fun. It's just a fun thing to watch. And there's good performances and some zinger lines. 8 out of 10.
Nice.
That's what I got.
Excellent. Drew?
I don't like Dick, just for the record.
How could you give it an 8 if you don't like Dick?
I like Dick Jr. more. No, I'm joking.
Oh my God. I'm not going to get into that.
Junior.
Oh,
Junior
God.
Bacon Dick.
What about you, Drew? What you got?
Yeah, I was leaning towards an 8 or a 9. I'm gonna go with an 8. And yes, I really loved this movie. And I wish we had more words in the English language to express what we say, because I also loved Long Legs, and that is a 10 out of 10 movie for me. But yes, I love Dick Tracy. I love Dick. I love Dick Jr. I love Peaches. I love handcuffs. I love frisking and fisting. And now this is a fun film. It's fast paced. It's funny. It's fun. It's well written. I really liked the writing in this movie. I liked the pace of the movie. I liked the story, which is also part of the writing. If you guys don't know that,
I did
Story,
not.
part of the writing. Yeah.
Until just now.
I think that checks out.
I loved the colors. The sets were incredible. It's so God, maybe I should give it a 9. But the reason I guess the reason I would give it an 8 is because I watched this a lot when I was a kid, and I watched it again just a few days ago as an adult for this podcast episode, and I liked it even better. Like, it stands up as a good film for an adult to watch. Most adults, anyway, who have IQs with an apostrophe.
IQ's what?
IQs.
Who's on first?
So, but the reason I would give it an 8 is because I'm probably not going to watch it again for a long while. And I guess that's not a fault of the film. It's just the fact that there's so much stuff to watch in this world now. So while I like it, I'm not going to be like, hey, let's sit down and watch Dick Tracy again.
So you don't like Dick? Okay.
Wow.
Well,
No, whatever, man. It's
You
fine.
called.
Who cares?
call me on it. Call me on it.
If I went on a date, or if I brought home some filly on a date, and she wanted to watch a fun movie, I would put this on.
You got to ask her though first. You like Dick?
It's like, I got a question for you. Now that you're in my apartment and I've locked the door and put the chain on, do you like Dick?
Do you like
I
Dick
have you
wrapped
strapped
in yellow?
to the floor.
Wrapped in yellow. Do you like chili and do you like Dick? Because there's about to be a lot of both flying at you.
What about Big Boy? Do you like Big Boys?
Do you like kids?
Do you like lips? Do you like being breathless? You know what? I'm changing it to a 9. Changing it to a 9 because I just had a flash.
Because you thought about Breathless again.
Yeah, because this is my favorite porn movie from now on. No, I just had a flash of the emblem, the logo, Dick Tracy. It's it's written in big cartoonish letters, red font, and it's got Dick Tracy's silhouette in it with, yellow. His face is kind of darked out, and he's blackied, and his hat is yellow. Silhouetted.
That was okay back then in 1990.
Wait, I just realized there are no black people in this movie. God damn it. It sucks.
There's a mention of in a news post. They mentioned like a shoe shine booth getting knocked over, and then
At the very beginning.
getting robbed. And he's like, and the shoe shine black said such and such. It's like, wait a second.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
What? He called him a black. He called him a shine
Did you have
black or
subtitles
something
on?
like that. No, I just popped
hearing.
out at me.
Good hearing
Wow.
and listening.
Oof.
Just whenever Stuart sees blacks, they pop out at him for some reason.
I think my favorite
So scared.
radio transmission was after Dick Tracy got arrested, and the radio guy was like, "It's worse than bad. It's heartbreaking." And that's what I'm going to use to describe Zack Snyder's movies from now on.
It's worse than bad. This movie was dick breaking. I mean, heartbreaking. God damn you, Zack Snyder. Go to hell.
This film broke my dick. Awesome. Okay. I'm gonna move on. I would also give it. I'm gonna give it 9 out of 10 slightly obscured Madonna nipples.
That's a perky rating.
Yes. The most valuable thing known to man.
Well said.
Yeah, I loved it. I had so much fun watching it.
Super fun.
I was 3 months old when this movie came out. I don't know when I watched it for the first time. It must have been on VHS or TV syndication or something. But it was I was pleasantly surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Had a blast.
It was a fun one.
Great art direction, great performances. Just a rollicking fun ride. 9 out of 10 nips.
9 out of 10 superstar singer nips. Sweet.
That's an uneven amount of nipples. You gonna be able to have sex with that?
Oh, I can.
I can, and I will.
I can.
Sir.
I will tonight, later.
If Total Recall taught us anything, it's that you can totally put up with an uneven amount of nipples.
That's true.
It's true.
God, we should review that movie next.
There you go. There you go.
Also a 1990 film, I think.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
90 or 91? 92? God, I forgot.
Who needs the brain when you got the internet? Let me check it out.
Go, Dan, go. Go, Dan, go.
1990. Wow.
Boom.
Sweet. A lot of good stuff happened that year.
Yeah.
I was born. Those 2 movies came out.
Who cares?
I actually share a birthday with Warren Beatty. So
He was also born in
What?
1990.
maybe that's why I like this movie so much. Maybe that's why I like Dick so much.
That's probably true.
Maybe that's why you're Dick Jr.
I like Tom.
What about Harry?
I share a birthday with Tom Hanks.
Aw.
Wow.
Forrest
No
Gump.
wonder you're so nice.
Forrest Gump.
Okay. Anybody got anything else for Dick?
Got nothing.
Any other thoughts on Dick?
Well, I'm tapped out on the dick.
Give me the Dick. Give me what you got on Dick. Give me the Dick stuff.
I'm flaccid, man.
I'm all limp.
Happy boy has been stretched to his limit. All right, sweet. Well, in that case, let's sign off. I'm gonna say thank you so much for listening, everybody. This was kind of a long one, but it was kind of a nostalgic one, and there was a lot to talk about. A lot of probably a third of it was about Madonna and how much we love her. But yeah, thanks for listening.
All right, bye everyone.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thanks. Love you. Thanks for listening. See you behind the paywall.
Breathless left us, breathless, a classic dame in a see-through dress. Dick taught us positive masculinity is the enemy of his enemy, his enemy. Tess stole our heart, she's a real sweetie. The kid is cool, but he can't stop eating. Big boy runs an underground casino. He loves walnuts and is played by Pacino. Ruiz is Inigo Montoya. You killed his father, prepare to die. Mumbles is Dustin freaking Hoffman. Kathy fucking Bates is typing what he's talking. Dick Van motherfucking Dyke is the DA. It's dick on dick, know what I'm saying. James Caan gets whacked off in a classic car. Servino is chilling at the oyster bar. There's too damn many great characters and too damn many awesome character actors. I just can't seem to keep up with them all. I'm freaking out, I'm curling up in a ball. The cost of Dick Tracy is way too stacked. I'm having a dick flick stacked cast movie magic panic attack.